All right. In this session, we're going to be talking about lead, sales, and support processes. And we will also create record types for them. So unlike other objects, in order to create record types for cases, lead, and opportunity, and there's also another object. And for these objects, we have to first create corresponding processes. All right, we have to create corresponding processes. Why do we need processes? And what does that actually mean? For example, if I go to case object now and try to create a record type for case, let me check here. Do we have any record types for case? No. Let's say I want to create a new record type for case. And what it does, it says a case record type must be associated with a support process. You currently do not have any active support process. You must create a support process before creating the case record type. Okay, this is a requirement. All right, that is a requirement by Salesforce. Similarly, if I go to opportunity object, and try to create new record type, and now it says you must create a sales process before creating the record type. All right. Last but not least, let's go to lead. Navigate to record types, click on new. And this one also tells us that you must create a lead process before creating the lead record type. Now, what is process? What does that mean? Let's talk about that. And I want you, so this is the status field values for each process. Okay. So I want you to think about this scenario. Let's say here we are talking about which object? Okay, here we are talking about case object. And let's say you have a business that you sell softwares. And then let's say you also sell hardwares, right? And if you're selling them, there will be times that customers will come back to you and raising an issue or a complaining about the problems that they are having with the software that they purchased from you. It could be any type of software. Let's say you're selling antivirus, or let's say you have developed a software that you're selling it. Simple example, for example, think about Salesforce. Let's say Salesforce, right? Salesforce is software, and Salesforce, if you buy a Salesforce, you might have some issues sometimes, and you may need to tell Salesforce, hey, I'm having some issues with the software. And what Salesforce company will do is they will follow certain steps to resolve your issue. So first, they're going to create that case. They might scan the software for virus. They might upgrade the version, upgrade license, working. So that's another status for they're going to be working on solutioning it. And sometimes they may escalate that issue to another department, and then eventually they will close it. It's not only applicable to Salesforce. Any company, imagine whenever you buy a software from any company. Let's say you buy a TurboTax to file your taxes. And whenever you have an issue, you're going to file a claim. And also think about another process, right? Let's say the same company also sells, for example, hardware items. Think about TV. The way how they handle TV related issues are going to be different than the way how they handle software related issues. Does that make sense to you? Is it logical? Yes, right? Because software issues will have different requirements to be resolved. And hardware items will require different steps for the issues to get resolved. This whole thing basically is called a support process. What kind of process do you follow in order to resolve these issues? I hope this makes it clear to you. Now, in order, also, we will have two different record types, right? To represent one record type will represent software related issues, and another record type will represent hardware related issues. Okay, so before that, what we will do is we have to customize the case status field. I have to add these fields into the case status field. All right, so I'll go ahead and be adding those fields to case status field. So let me navigate to Object Manager and then search for case status, sorry, case object, and then navigate to fields and relationship. And here I have the status field. Click on it. And then down here, select new. So what are the values that we want to add? We want to add set of values here. So we do want to add scan for virus, for example. This step will be applied to softwares, and then upgrade version. And basically, another one is upgrade license, for example. Update drivers. Some hardware's TV can have, or computer can have a driver that you may need to resolve. Check compatibility. Compatibility. Next, upgrade software. All right, and then save this. So what values we have now? We have these values: new, working, escalated, closed, scan for virus. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reorder them. So these values will need to be moved up right after new. This also needs to go up. Okay. And then let's click on save. Now let's go back to cases. Let's go back to cases. Let's say I want to create one case. Click new. New case origin is phone. Let's say the customer called us via the phone to complain about the issue. Are there any mandatory fields? No. Just click on save. Let's say in this scenario, the customer called about a TV related issue, right? TV related issue. And as the people work on this case, they would need to change the status, right? They're going to update this status. If it's new today, tomorrow it can be any of these steps, right? Step by step, day by day, they will progress through these steps. Now, the question here is, if it is a TV related issue, why do we need to see this software-related issues, for example, upgrade version and upgrade license. Why do we need to see these fields? We don't need to see those values, right? Similarly, the way how we are following our process is, if we want to handle hardware-related cases, we want to see only these values, right? Only these values. That's why what we have to do is we have to create support process so that these unrelated values over here can be hidden. All right. So if I go to back again, my goal is to create two different record types. One record type for resolving hardware related issues. The other one is resolving software related issues. That's our ultimate goal. So in order to achieve our goal, we're going to try to create a case record type, okay? So try to create a case record type and say new. It will tell you you have to create a support process first. And then it will give you this link that telling you you can click on this link to create a support process. So if you click this, you will be navigated to support process. Okay. Alternatively, what you can do is while you are on this home tab, quick find, search for support process. All right. And then click on new. And then give it a name. So how we're going to name this one is, we're going to give it a software process. Software process. And I'm going to use this use for resolving software related issues. Click save. And then here is the question. Which values, what steps do we take in order to resolve software issues? For resolving software issues, we follow these steps. Okay, we follow these steps. And let's just keep these values in there and remove others. Okay, so we need new status, we need scan for virus, upgrade version, upgrade license. We need these four so far. We don't need this one. Let's remove it. Check for compatibility. We don't need that. Let's remove it. Upgrade software. We don't need this. Or we can keep this for updating or upgrading the software. Or upgrade version. Upgrade version covers that scenario, so I'm going to remove this one, okay? We're going to use this one for hardware. So these are the steps the business follow to resolve software-related issues. Again, these are just example steps. Sometimes there could be 15 different steps, or as less as three small steps to go through the process. But in our scenario, just think about these steps. And we're going to click on save. And similarly, we will create one more process, and this is going to be called hardware process. Hardware process. Give it a description. I'm going to say used for resolving hardware related issues. Click on save. Now, what values do we need? For hardware related issues, we need these ones. New update drivers, check compatibility, upgrade software, working, escalated, closed. So let's keep those. We need to keep new. Scan for virus is not applicable to hardware. Well, it may be applicable, but in our business scenario, we're not following that. We're not doing that. And upgrade version, we don't use that step. Upgrade license, we don't use that. Update drivers, we use that. Check for compatibility. Upgrade software, working, escalated, and closed. So these are the steps we follow, or the way how we troubleshoot hardware related issues is just like that. So we go to, first troubleshooting step is update drivers, and then we follow the rest of the steps. Click on save. So we do now have two different support processes. Now what we can do is we can go back to case object, record types, and then click on new. See, now it doesn't prompt you to create a support process anymore. It knows that there are two support processes that we have created already. So record type label, I'm going to name this as software related issues. Support process, I have to select software process. Description, I'm skipping that just for the time's sake. I'm not making this available for all the profiles, only for our test user and the admin user. And then click next. Page layout. What page layout? All right, so we're going to be using same page layout. For both record types, we're going to be using same page layout, but their peak list values will be different. And click on save. And let's go back to record types again, and then click on new button. Let's create the second record type. How did we name the first one? So we named this like this. Let's name the other one like that as well. Let's follow the same naming convention. So this is going to be hardware related issues. Support process, select this, make it active. And we are assigning it to these two users. And then click next. Page layout, we're going to select case page layout because currently that's the page layout used by all the users. And click save. All right, click save. Now let's go to case and try to create a new case. So it is asking me what type of case I want to create. I'm going to keep this one selected, then click on next. And under the statuses, you see, we now see different values. So let's keep new as selected, case origin, email. We're going to assume that we received a customer email about this issue and click save. Everything else remains same for both case record types because we are using the same page layout for them. The only difference is the status field values are different. Okay, hardware related issue. Email, status new, check the statuses you see. These are hardware related issues. Update drivers, compatibility, software, and etc. Let's give it a title. TV remote is not working. Click save. All right. So we created two different record types and assigned them to two different, what's called processes.